team has nights like this where you just seem like maybe you don't have it. How do you guys, this won't be the last time and it hasn't been the first time. How do you guys handle these types of nights and kind of wash your hands before the next game?
You have to approach it with the right level of gravity. You can't just brush it off and wipe the film and say on to the next, but you also can't overreact and allow the emotions of obviously losing a game. Nobody likes to lose. You can't let that take over either and pull you in the wrong direction. So we have to look at it objectively for what it is, look at where we can be better, and just look at the game for what it was. Don't look at any factors that are out of our control, and come back and be better.
I know the film will probably tell you a lot, but was there a phase of the game that you just felt like, okay, this is controllable, that if we had our fastball, this is an area that we really should clean up?
I'd say credit to them. I don't want to sit here and try to discredit them. I think they played a really good game tonight. They came ready to roll. They were making plays, hitting shots. But I'd also say there's a lot of areas we could have been better tonight. I personally could have been better. Should have been better on the glass. Should have been better at the rim. I should have gave us a better spark. The last thing I want to look at is shots, whether they go in or not. I feel like for the most part tonight we had the right intentions with what shots we shot, and where we lost the game, didn't fall on that, if that makes sense. I think I walked in here and Shea said it. We've endured bad shooting nights before and been able to win by a good margin, and we didn't do that tonight, and the outcome speaks for itself.
What do you feel like was the reason they were able to get off to such a hot start and then stay into that rhythm for most of the night?
I would just say we allowed them to be comfortable. They played with a lot of pace. They played with a lot of force within their actions, and we just didn't match that. You can look at whatever factors you want to look at as to why we didn't. But at the end of the day, we just have to be better at that and execute in those areas. Because it's hard to win a game, when you're just kind of playing behind the 8 ball for most of the night. So, and again, I'm gonna always look myself in the mirror first and say, I got to be better for us, and I'm gonna do that.
Over the last couple games, you guys, last 2 nights, out-rebounded by close to 40. Is that, from your perspective, do you contribute that to effort or a guy like Hardenstein being out?
I'd say you can try to attribute it to whatever factors you want. Obviously, Hart's huge for us. Everybody knows he's a monster on the glass, and he's always been big for us in that department while he's been with us, and I can't wait to have him back. He's doing everything he needs to do to take care of himself and get back to playing with us. But at the end of the day, it's less about attributing it to this or that. It's more about just being better in that area and getting it done. It's like you said, that's not a marginal number. That's not the ball bounced the wrong way on one play. So I got to look myself in the mirror and be better in that area, and then us as a team, we got to be better in that area to give ourselves better chances to win these games.
Yeah. All right, yeah. So most of you guys' losses this season have been to teams that are perceived to be pretty good. San Antonio, Phoenix, Minnesota. This is the first loss this season that is to a team that has struggled more often than not. Might that have possibly brought on maybe a bit of a focus issue there, or was it just simply a game that they played well and y'all missed shots?
Are you saying we lost because of lack of focus, or I'm just trying to understand the question?
I'm not saying that. I'm asking.
You're asking that though.
Based on the fact that they're a team that has struggled more often than not. Your other losses are to like higher up echelon teams. This is a team that's like has struggled more often than not.
Again, I don't want to discredit how they played tonight or their players. They played a hell of a game. They came out ready to roll, and they brought their stuff and we didn't bring our stuff tonight. So that's what I attribute it to. Again, I don't want to say it's one factor. If we just did this better, we would have won the game. We have to, again, take the game for what it is, look at the film objectively, how we can be better, and then come back and try to apply that.
You guys have been a team that every single one of you has talked about how when you lose, something that you guys could have done, like yourselves could have done better. Like you just talked about how you look yourself in the mirror and all the things that you could have done better, never pointing at a teammate or anything and saying XYZ player could have done better. Do you feel like when that's the whole group doing that, you feel like that makes it easier to bounce back from losses?
100%. The most frustrating person to work with is the one that never has any self-accountability. And I don't think we have anybody in our building with that makeup, from the players to the coaches to whoever it might be. And whether it's life, but certainly the NBA, you could sit here and everybody could try to just push an excuse for losing any game at any time, whether it's back-to-backs or travel or just shooting variance or whatever it is. But like a lot of those things are out of our control, and for us to chase improvement, just blaming things we can't control isn't going to help us get better. So at the end of the day, it's always about us looking at ourselves in the mirror. What can we do better? And because the things that are out of our control are out of our control for us as well as every other team. So like, how do you get better? You got to look at yourself first. So I'm a big believer in doing that. I have to be better, and I'm sure everybody who's here in the building tonight feels the same way. And I think even on nights where we win, most of us feel that way because it's very hard to play a perfect game.
You've touched on it a few different times. Mark touched on it, Shea, about shot variance. That's not something you guys are going to make an excuse over. Your identity as a team has been on the defensive end for quite a while. Where do you think that you guys could sort of change it up, or where do you think the biggest points of improvement need to be on that side of the ball?
On the defensive end?
Yes.
I'd say the biggest thing is, the reason we're a really good defense is because we take what you want to do. You wake up out of bed in the morning and you say, I want to do this tonight. I want to get to this. I want to shoot these shots, and we take those away and force you to figure out the next thing. And I feel like tonight we didn't do that. I feel like they were comfortable, and again, I'm gonna look myself in the mirror. Part of that was me. I don't think I definitely wasn't as good as we need me to be on the defensive end, and I have to take that and try to be better.
Thank you, Chet.
Yep.
Have a good night.